Hey everybody, welcome back again to the Double Stuff Podcast. We're double the hosts, double the topics, double the fun, and I'm Sarah.
I'm Charity.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Dan.
And guys, we're in our fourth season series, I guess, kind of thing. It's our fourth year doing this. We do want to let you guys know this is going to be our final _2 MP3, our final series. So thank you guys for joining us for the past 4 years. We still got a few more episodes to enjoy, but thank you for sticking with us. We're going to continue last week's episode talking about movie tropes because we can't leave well enough alone and we got so much more to talk about. So I'm going to bring up one and let's see if you guys agree with this as a movie trope, where you have a character that's been good/nice for most of the movie, and then just for the sake of a plot twist, turns out to be evil.
Yeah.
At the end.
No, that's the best plot twist. It's always the mentor or the friend of the protagonist turns out to be the antagonist.
Yeah.
And
I trusted you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm your father. No.
okay, so spoilers for Mission Impossible, the original Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
But I love that twist in that.
Yeah.
But also because it was supposed to originally be the main character from the TV show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Then the main, like that guy, I can't think of his name now, but whoever the main character was wouldn't come
Was
back.
it Lee Majors? No, that was Bionic.
That was Bionic Man. I'm totally blanking now, but he didn't want, like, they asked him to play Jon Voight's character, and he wouldn't do it because he didn't want that character to be a bad guy, like a villain. So they replaced. I think he's got the same name as the original. I can't remember now, but that was the whole point of that. Was like it was supposed to be bringing in the old guy, and then he was like, "Oh, he's the villain."
Oh yeah. And some of those I actually kind of like, but then I feel like maybe it's just again another example of lazy writing. Sometimes you can figure it out. It's like, oh, yeah, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because he might say something, not everything is what you think, or, or something.
Trust no one.
Or sometimes they'll give that extra 2 seconds when he looks at the camera or looks away from the camera. He just,
he does that little side
it's like
eye.
that.
I like the one where it's a red herring, where you think they're going to be the villain.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, no, we were helping you the whole time, but it was not in the way that you wanted.
Yeah, it's almost like double agent, I guess. Or if you guys ever seen North by Northwest, Alfred Hitchcock, another spoiler, but this is 1959, so hopefully some of you guys have seen this. But Eva Marie Saint's character, she is a double agent. So at one point she's in love with Cary Grant, and then he thinks she turned him in, but she did that because she's working for the other side, and then she's going to try to get him out. So it's like it overcomplicates it because she kind of has to show that she was bad for the sake of the bad guys, but she's actually trying to do something. So it's that whole trying to keep up with the storyline and with the character at the same time. So sometimes it can be done well, if written well, acted well, all that kind of stuff. But it has been used quite a few times.
I remember I love the third Indiana Jones with
Last Crusade?
Last Crusade. Okay. Love Last Crusade. Lots of fun. But the love interest, I forget Elsa.
Oh.
Yeah. Her thing, and she was flip-flopping back and forth. But the one thing that where she broke down and Harrison Ford somehow believed her was, I cannot put up with book burning. And it was, it all comes down to the fact that Hitler is burning books. That's what's really going to break your heart. Yeah, that could not be crossed. I always thought that was the weirdest, try to give some humanity to a book.
Because books are the gateway to knowledge and all that kind of stuff.
Anyway, it always bugged me.
Actually, you said Elsa make me think of Frozen because they did that in Disney's Frozen too. Because Hans, it was the Prince Charming that proposes to Anna, and he's supposed to be this honest and noble character. Turns out to be the villain. Sorry if you hadn't seen the first Frozen.
Well, betrayal it's an awesome plot twist. In any story. So and the ultimate betrayal is for the protagonist. So
said a lot of soap operas have been around for a long time on betrayal.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's what they bank on. You had mentioned earlier about the mentor. I know you're using it in terms of a plot twist, but another one is when the mentor, they always die, right? The one that helped to help bring up the orphan child or something
and
like
it's
that.
always right before the last skill can be attained.
That's Joseph Campbell, though. I mean, that's the monomyth
And then
right there.
right before his last breath, he's like, I've been holding this information back from you, but you have to go avenge blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you couldn't have told me this, I don't know, 5-10 years ago?
You
That
weren't
would have been
ready
helpful.
to hear it.
Yeah,
Or
you
you-
were-
And if you weren't dying, you still wouldn't have told me.
Yeah.
Only reason why you told me is because you're at death's door right now.
Or you do what Star Wars did and kill off the mentor character and then bring it back in the next movie as it goes and just be like, I'm going to explain everything to you, but I'm going to leave out some things.
Yeah, so yeah,
fun.
you always have the strong leader that that they've gone through so much, droughts and famines and everything else, but that one little bullet or that little karate chop in the head, like we talked about in the last episode, and that's done them in, and it's like, okay, well, and then they have to go venture on their own. Yeah, you hear the spirit or the voice, that's in their head, and it's like, you're stronger than you think, kind of thing. So that's always a fun. But I thought about that when you were talking about the mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, what do you got, Cher?
All right. This one we've seen in just about every movie or TV show, but whenever you end a phone call, nobody says goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that earlier, too.
That's a good
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's annoying, too, because it's just like, this is the information that you need.
Click.
Or even some of those older movies with like flip phones where you just have that click.
Click,
like,
yeah.
where they just like slam
So
that.
I'll be like,
I'm
who raised you? Say goodbye.
Yeah, especially on like some of the family movies where they're talking to their mom or something, and they just like they're having this deep, heartfelt moment, and then she just hangs up. Like if I was someone's mom, I would call right back, like, "Excuse me,
Don't you dare!
yeah, where is my goodbye?
I'm assuming we got cut off.
I didn't raise you
I
like
hope
that."
you're driving and you went through something.
Yeah, or like when they're or like some of those spy movies or whatever, when they are, the informant is giving them information. Now I guess I don't know, but they're giving it and it's like, yeah, meet me at the post office at 2 p.m. and then they hang up. Now I mean, I guess
what day?
Yeah. if you knew anything about being a spy, you would know.
Is that Central Time Zone?
Yeah.
This is Central Standard Time.
I'm in Montana. We're not in the same time zone.
There's 6 McDonald's in this city. Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that would be a really funny comedy spot. Just that montage of him pulling up to every drive-thru.
It's like, meet me at the cafe. And then and it's just like, what?
Meanwhile, and at the end of the movie, he's like eating so much, and he's like, "Dude, I was at the cafe across the street.
Yeah, they're literally next to each other.
You went all over town."
Or it's like someone's name was like, no, John Cafe.
Yeah.
John Cafe.
Or something.
I got one here.
What's
Okay,
it?
what
What you
about
got?
starting a movie with a broken family, moving into a new home, or parents are divorced, but the plucky child protagonist will get them back together somehow.
Sort of a Pollyanna, Shirley
Yeah.
Temple sort of story.
Or
Exactly.
even like Parent
Parent
Trap.
Trap.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Because nothing says ethical like splitting two siblings. Be like, hey, it's perfect.
We
You take
never
one,
knew.
baby. and then they take them to the camp. Flies from England to
Yeah.
America
Yeah.
to go to this camp.
And that camp was supposed to be all summer long, so you just spent 3 months away from home. Like, from, June all the way through August. I'm like, dang, tell me you want to get rid of your kids without telling me you want to get rid. Oh, we're going to go to camp again.
And then the parents are upset at the kids for doing this. And I'm like, they've been separated for like 10, 12 years. How dare you? I wanted to keep my half of the child. And then, but yeah, those are always, or you have,
Which half do you get?
That's true.
Top half? Bottom half?
Bottom. Just do a Solomon, right? That's a Bible joke, guys. So, but yeah, like at the beginning where, you have the broken family, then you have the teenager who doesn't speak, It's like, well, Dad didn't want us to move here. Well, Dad's not in the picture anymore,
Yeah.
So then you have like the dark, like, young adult series where the teenager's the loner. And, you're not my real dad kind of conversation.
Well, it just depends on the genre.
It does depend on this genre,
Because if it's a thriller, Dad's coming back, but it's not good.
That's true.
We were leaving for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't want Dad to come back.
Yeah, we didn't say why it was broken.
Kind of along that trope, though, too, you'll have the
Kindergarten
girl
Cop,
who's like,
great movie.
Oh,
great movie.
you'll have the girl that's dressed kind of goth, and at the end of the movie, she's wearing like soft pastel colors, and she's changed,
Yeah.
That's Barbie.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. So it's just like the glasses trope. Yeah. Then they're
So
happy.
now she's a good girl. She took off the black nail polish, and she's not shopping at Hot Topic, the devil's store.
Missing out.
Yeah, that's always a fun one. Well, like you said, it depends on the genre, so maybe it's not always
Right.
fun,
Yeah.
but very identifiable.
That's the conformity trope. It's like, the nail that sticks up gets hammered down. So it's like, no, don't be original. Conform.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Isn't that the issue people have with the Breakfast Club?
Nobody dances in this town? We're going to change that.
And then you have a show-stopping number, and everybody's like, I love rhythm.
Yeah. Why did we ever get rid of this? Jazz and liquor.
Apparently, it's in the 1920s.
Let us speakeasy.
They're not hep to the jive in that one.
Also, since we're talking about Footloose, I did find it amazing that they were able to actually succeed in like banning dance.
Yeah.
Like, how do you stop someone from dancing? Like,
No, this is just one of those that you kind of walk into
Just
and
go
you're
with
like,
it.
I guess that's a thing.
Wait,
You
I
know?
may be mistaken. I thought Footloose was actually based off of a real town. Like that
Oh,
they
was
tried
it?
to do that in like Oklahoma or something like that.
I believe that.
I think
sounds
so.
like that sounds like a
I'm gonna have to
Bible
look
Belt
this
thing.
up.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's not too shocking.
But really, like, I'm just saying, you can't stop someone. Like, if I'm gonna sit in my house and go like, woo hoo hoo, you can't be like, no. Like,
what you think.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my movement. I can't not move.
So, fun religious quirk fact. So, as far as the Protestant denomination Nazarene, dancing is forbidden because it's vertical,
Yeah.
whatever. So,
Interesting.
my sister went to a Nazarene college for her nursing degree. And the school would send out spies to all the dance clubs
What?
That
to make
sounds
sure
right.
that there were no students there. Can you believe that?
Oh, yes,
Y'all
I
ain't
can.
got nothing better to do with your time. Yeah, I fully believe that.
fully believe
I've heard a bunch of nonsense like
Okay,
that.
okay, I pulled this up while we were
Okay,
talking
what do you
about
got?
this.
What do you got,
Footloose
Dan?
is loosely based on a town in
Oh,
Elmore
my
City,
gosh.
Oklahoma.
You were right.
Yeah, the town had banned dancing since its founding in 1898 in an attempt to decrease the amount of heavy drinking. I won't go in the whole thing, but yeah.
Here's the thing, though, with
Wow.
heavy drinking. Usually, dancing doesn't happen. It's usually with heavy drinking, somebody's trying to climb up on a roof and see if they can jump.
They're like, see? That's
Watch-
why.
Watch me.
That's an interpretive dance. It's modern.
Exactly.
So if you want to know how people ban dancing in real life, go to Elmore City, Oklahoma,
Oh my
and talk
gosh.
to them.
I wonder if it's still like that.
I don't think it is. I think they
Not
probably
in
removed
this
it.
day and age. However, it does make you think, like, man, how salacious were the 1800s?
Yeah.
Right? all them corsets and girdles, man.
I wonder if that's how they get tourists to that city, though. It's like, yeah, that was us.
That was us.
Yeah.
We been dancing.
Come see Kevin Bacon.
Or if you don't like to dance, you're welcome.
Yeah. Come join our community.
They have like Civil War reenactments, but it's like the dancers versus the non-dancers.
Just take out some cardboard and start breaking dancing.
Right.
Oh my god, I feel like that's a missed opportunity if anyone was not doing that. And then
That's
Dance
hilarious.
was bored. All right, what you got, Dan?
This trope made me laugh when I read it. So, can anyone guess the number one cause of cinematic death?
Ooh, the number one cause?
It's not what you think.
Okay.
I was going with like Disney. There's always a dead parent, so like they're dead before the movie starts.
Yeah, I was going to go with like fall.
So this one had failure to stay with me. There's lazy people dying there. All they had to do was stay with them.
Yeah, that's
and they
right.
didn't do it.
Yeah, that's right. Don't go to the light. Why not? Because then the movie's over. Stop.
You need reverse psychology. You just say die,
Yeah.
and then they'll stay alive.
Hey, Will,
like, I wouldn't dare. Yeah.
but you can't die. You're the one.
To be fair,
The Oracle
that,
told me.
okay, another spoiler for Titanic. That's what Jack makes the decision to die in that movie. She's
Yeah.
like, "Stay with me, get on the thing," and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do it." And it's just like, I don't know, you could. I mean, she wants you up there. She's not like, "Oh, don't do it."
Yeah.
I'm going to freeze. Like, you make that decision.
I'm not going to
So
infringe upon your choices.
He died because he didn't want to stay with her.
Gotcha.
It's 1912, man. This is the age of reasoning, and if I don't want to be with you after all we went through together, so be
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
That's better than an awkward breakup. Just slowly sink into.
That's
the
right.
Titanic, one giant awkward breakup.
I don't want to change my relationship status.
Yeah, I think the other ones is like the whole Stay With Me, like especially like hospital dramas where there's TV shows or movies and stuff, and they're just CPRing the guy, like hitting the chest and all that, and it's funny. I was reading some of the comments like from actual doctors, like, no, that's not how you do the CPR.
Yeah.
I love watching those reaction, like a doctor will watch a medical drama and just trash the whole thing.
It's also never in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like when they're doing chest
Everybody always
compressions.
needs a tracheotomy.
Oh yeah.
We got to trach him right now.
That happens like never. Yeah. That was when I'd watch like medical shows like ER or whatever, and they'd always get like the little like I can't think of the thing that's called it. Like you like open the throat so that way you can like put the tube down. And I was like, that happens rarely.
A lot of people would rather die.
Yeah. Or you probably would kill them by like, we have to use this very specific instrument now, kind of thing.
Well, here's another fun line. Everything you know is about to change, or forget everything you know. How many times have we heard that?
Yeah, that's like from the trailers too.
Yeah.
You know, all those years you got getting your doctorate? Nope. Throw it all in the trash. I don't care if you have a PhD. It's wrong.
It's basically like a bunch of those, like, you go on Rogue, or some ragtag teams, like, everything you learn's been a lie. It's like, we go by our own means. We go against the book.
In a world.
Yeah.
That's a trope in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Movie trailer.
They had a movie called In a World that was about.
Yeah.
Where where like the main character would actually be the narrator. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Narrator is the main character, like giving out all the play-by-plays.
I feel like that's happened before. I can't remember which film. But
It probably has. Like I said, I feel like everything has already been done.
Have you ever seen The Holiday?
yeah.
So there are those parts in the movie because she cuts trailers, like Cameron Diaz's character cuts trailers in it, and there are parts of the movie where they will be like showing scenes of her, and they'll have like a voiceover narration from a trailer, and it's because she cuts trailers, so it's just sort of like a really weird like fourth wall thing.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah. A bit. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got one. Talking to the passenger and keeping your eyes off the road a little too long, or turning the steering wheel like a child.
Yeah, especially if they're going straight and they're just like,
they're just doing like this. I'm like, who drives? If you be zigzagging,
that's how you drive those Fisher Price cars.
Does that come from a lack of power steering back in the day, where people would drive like that? So when they were originally making movies, it was overacting,
Well,
driving like that.
You need power steering so that you can do that. Otherwise, if it's not negative steering or whatever, it's 1-to-1. So like every time you move, that's how much your race car drivers don't need to steer all that much.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're also going like 300 miles per hour.
They're always kind of like.
Because I was thinking my friend had a truck that didn't have power steering. Like he had to just crank the wheel so many times to get it to move.
Oh, I guess
so I was thinking about if they were if it was like a scene where it was overacting, right? And it was at a time where they had to maybe move the wheel a lot more to make a turn. So when they're overacting, they're sitting there driving in this straight line doing this the whole time, and it just stuck.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, if you're really,
I think it's just a natural pantomime. Like if we were playing charades and I go like this, you would know that I'm driving. So you're like, take that into the acting world. It's like, oh, this means driving.
Yeah.
We were just watching the
we're
Fast and
walking down the street with 2 gallons of milk.
We were just watching the Fast and Furious movies, and they just hold on to the steering wheel when they're racing, and it's just they don't move. And I'm like, well, I guess that kind of makes sense since they're only going a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah.
So it's they don't really need to do that, but it's kind of boring looking.
That's probably a big thing. Why? Because reality. Because I tell this to my students. Sometimes reality and TV reality, movie reality, you do have to make some changes. Because in real life, So, but it's definitely the whole looking at somebody while you're driving or just doing this. They're just looking. I'm like, keep your eyes on the road.
More than that, it's especially at nighttime driving with the below the dash light, and I'm like, nobody's driving with lights illuminating them from underneath.
Yeah, it's that whole thing, but that's always gotten me. That's
another movie trope, since we're talking about driving, it's usually like if someone gets into a taxi and they're like, oh, where you headed? Oh, I'm going home. Or I'm going where no man has gone before. And then there's this jib shot or drone shot and they drive off into the sunset.
Because the taxi driver knows where home is.
Wherever that is.
Yeah, that's always fun. It's like, I know exactly where you are. I know this place like the back of my hand.
You know what's funny? That's a trope that actually works now that didn't work before, because in Uber you put in your destination.
Oh,
so so like the person that's coming to pick you up knows exactly where you want to go.
True.
So if they're like, where are you going? You're like, home. They're like, oh, well, I guess that's your home address then.
Yeah.
That I have in there.
Yeah, that's true.
But that didn't work before when it came up.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't think about that because some tropes actually do make more sense now than 10, 20 years
What
ago.
about the movies where that does happen and they're like, oh, where you headed? I don't know, just drive.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess the meter's running.
Like, meter's running.
got money to burn, I guess.
That cabbie's like cha-ching.
I know, right?
That's the ultimate passenger you want in your car.
Yeah.
That's the end of a horror movie.
Yeah, that's right.
It'd be like just driving. It's like no problem, and it's like, oh no.
That happens after he sits in the back of the ambulance and thinks about his life, and then they go back without going to the hospital. It's like, just take me home, and then credit rolls.
See, that makes you think of the trope of I think it's kind of like horror movies, right? Where like the hero or the protagonist will get away, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the end, it's just like psych, like the villain's still alive and they're still there,
Yeah.
So they do get in the car or whatever, and then all of a sudden they pop up, or something like that. Or like the end of checks his chainsaw or something.
Either because of the plot twist or a sequel has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
He never was.
Yep. Come back in 2 years, we'll have another movie made.
They thought they got away. They're on the road. They flag down the car, and it happens to be like the family member of the.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Plot twist. So, guys, this has been two episodes worth
Movie
of
tropes,
movie
part
tropes.
2.
Yeah.
Now there are so many because we can't fit all that in two episodes, but I'm sure you guys have many. Always let us know, because again, there's never a shortage of these things. If you've watched at least one movie in your life, you've seen a lot. But anyway, just take a listen. We have over 200 episodes you can check out. Listen to us on our website at doublestuffpod.com. We're also available on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Double Stuff Podcast, and of course on Twitter X at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.
Or is it?
Ooh, stay tuned.
Dun, dun, dun.